Welcome back to 843 TV. We're now joined by Miss Jennifer Ray, who is the urban designer for the town of Hilton Head. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thanks for having
being
me
here. Yeah, we're happy to have you. It looks like you got some great information to share with us, so we're excited to hear about it. Now, this is the Igny District Improvement Conceptual Plan. Tell us about some of the elements of it that make it really different from what we see today.
There are 6 major elements that Town Council asked staff and the consultants to work on. That included roadway and intersection improvements, surface parking, a destination park and playground, which would be very exciting for the residents and visitors, pedestrian improvements, streetscape improvements, and a children's museum. So the biggest thing about this area is that the Igny District really includes the Pope Avenue corridor from just south of Cordillo down to Igny Circle and reaching out down North and South Forest Beach to Avocet and Tanglewood. With roadway and intersection improvements, the goal is really to provide alternative connections throughout the area. Instead of just coming down Pope Avenue, having to go around Igny Circle and down North and South Forest Beach. This plan really seeks to give alternatives to that. It also improves traffic flow through 2 new traffic signals at both Lagoon Road and Pope Avenue, where it's very hard to turn left in and out of there, as well as down on South Forest Beach Drive. That helps the pedestrians and the cars moving through that district. As you can imagine, the traffic in that area is extreme during the summer months, especially Saturdays and Sundays. And when you have lots of bikes and people walking and cars all mixing, we really needed to address those roadway improvements.
For safety, right?
For safety, and just for getting people where they want to go with less frustration. Surface parking is an issue in the area, and this plan adds over 100 parking spaces, which meets the short-term goal as well as the goal for this plan, and provides for improved parking in the future. The destination park and playground is really something that people, we think, will come from all over. The residents in this area really need a park, just open space to be able to throw a frisbee, have a picnic. It could be for special events. There's a large open space that is the central focus of the park that's very flexible in use. And then this destination playground, it has things for older children with a play structure designed to be a replica of the Captain William Hilton ship. And for younger kids, a treehouse structure. So they both have themes of the low country and nature. There's rocks and water and fun things for kids to do. And it's safe, and there are lots of opportunities for parents as well. I mentioned the Children's Museum. The Sandbox Children's Museum is looking for a new home, and we planned space here in the park so that they can take advantage of the park, they can take advantage of the parking. It can be an indoor-outdoor museum space, and is really an off-peak use. Their big days are when it's raining, and that's different than when people are using the beach. I also mentioned streetscape improvements, all down Pope Avenue and South Forest Beach, improvements to landscaping, lighting, signage, pedestrian space, sidewalks, gathering spaces, lots of improvements that will be beneficial to both the visitor and the resident and the business, trying to hit everybody that's important in that area.
Oh, this sounds fantastic. So how's this all being funded?
Well, this is part of what's called the TIF district, which is Tax Increment Financing District, and it's a partnership between Beaufort County Schools, the town of Hilton Head Island, and PSD. And those taxing entities have agreed to forego the taxes that they would collect in that area for a specified time and put it into an account that can be used for redevelopment, because the thought is that public investment in infrastructure especially spurs private redevelopment. And that's what happened with the beach park. That was phase 1 of this project, and that's how this will be funded primarily.
So what are some major concerns from the area residents and business owners?
The biggest thing we heard when this project came back up a few years ago was USCB was going to be part of the project, and that caused a lot of heartburn for the area. And so under the leadership of Town Council, working with the university, they found an alternate site. So that left big issues of traffic and parking. And our consultant looked at traffic throughout the whole corridor, Pope Avenue all the way down to New Orleans Road, not just this area. When you're master planning, he looked at a bigger area. He also studied parking and did parking counts in our parking lot throughout several days over June and July. and came up with numbers of what's needed and made recommendations that should meet those residents and business owners' needs. And in fact, at the recent town council meetings, we had a lot of support from both the major businesses in the area
say, yeah, I
and
would think that they would
the Owners
encourage more
Association.
So what are the short-term plans in the meantime?
In short term, actually this winter, before the season starts next year, we're going to add about 75 spaces, which will meet our short-term needs through some reconfiguration of existing parking spaces and then through opening up the boneyard for some overflow parking.
So then after that, what's the next step?
The next step is working with property owners. Right now we are working with all the impacted properties to talk about the impacts and potential mitigation. And also town council needs to look at priorities. As you can imagine, with a project this large, it can't all be done in one
Right.
season. We have a limited construction window and a lot of steps, a lot of moving parts. So once they determine their priorities, then our consultants can get into detailed design and figure out what that first phase is. And then there will be a lot of phasing out over the years as we get this completely implemented.
So what is the long-term ideal timeline for that is probably the best way to say it.
Give us a date.
For the business owners, getting parking and road improvements tomorrow is ideal. For the residents, getting a park to play in tomorrow is ideal. The museum needs to move right away. So it'll be a big challenge for town council to determine, but I anticipate we will be starting detailed design work in the next few months. And
It
hopefully,
sounds like it's going to be a pretty quick project.
that's right, have something to start next fall.
Well,
Oh,
that
wow.
is
That's
super
very quick.
exciting. Well, thank you for all your information.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
That's neat stuff.
Very.
Well, make sure that you come right back for more 843 TV.